90% of households think they're buying healthy olive oil. They're not. Behind the labels and Italian branding is an industry flooded with diluted, deodorized, and chemically altered oils sold as extra virgin. Investigations uncovered billions tied to global olive oil fraud, while major studies found many supermarket brands failed basic quality standards. That means the bottle in your kitchen may be fake, and you'd never know it. So in this video, I'm exposing 11 olive oil brands you should stop buying immediately. Then I'll show you the 4 brands that actually deliver the purity, freshness, and quality you're paying for. Starting at number 11 is Calavita. You've probably seen it lined up at Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and upscale grocery stores, dressed in elegant packaging that practically whispers, "Trust me, I'm premium." At $12 to $18 a bottle, Calavita positions itself above the bargain bin oils, selling the idea that a slightly higher price means dramatically better quality. But that's where the marketing works harder than the oil. Independent testing over the years has raised concerns about inconsistent extra virgin standards across different batches. In plain English, one bottle may taste fresh and balanced, while another falls short of what true extra virgin olive oil is supposed to be. And consistency is everything in this category. Like many mass-market brands, Calavita relies on blended sourcing from multiple regions and harvests to maintain supply at scale. That helps shelves stay stocked, but not necessarily flavor, freshness, or purity. Despite looking premium on the outside, inside it often lands in the gray zone between authentic quality and polished supermarket branding. Number 10, Pompeian. This is the olive oil that practically owns the supermarket aisle. It's everywhere. Costco, Walmart, Target, Instacart carts by the millions. For many Americans, Pompeian has become the default choice. Not because people researched it, but because it's familiar, affordable, and constantly in front of them. Well, popularity and quality are not the same thing. Independent testing, including reports from the UC Davis Olive Center, raised concerns over whether some samples consistently met true extra virgin standards. That matters because extra virgin isn't supposed to be a marketing vibe. It's a strict quality category tied to freshness, processing, and chemical composition. Then there's the branding. Rolling olive groves, words like pure and fresh, old world Mediterranean energy. But mass-scale production often means blended oils sourced from multiple countries and harvest periods, engineered for consistency on shelves, rather than peak flavor or nutrient quality. Pompeian isn't disastrous, it's just heavily marketed average pretending to be exceptional. Number 9. Star Olive Oil. Just because a bottle has star on the label doesn't mean it's the star of the olive oil world. In fact, that name does a lot of the performance before you even unscrew the cap. At first glance, it checks every box. Clean packaging, familiar branding, easy supermarket availability. It feels safe, reliable, almost too uncomplicated. But real olive oil is complicated, and mass production usually makes it worse, not better. When brands operate at enormous scale, freshness starts battling logistics. Oils from different countries and harvest seasons are blended together to keep flavor consistent year-round. That smooth, predictable taste? Often a sign of heavy standardization, not exceptional quality. Star lives squarely in that industrial system. The focus is shelf stability and supply volume, not preserving the bold flavor, peppery finish, and antioxidant content that define truly fresh extra virgin olive oil. So yes, it's consistent. But olive oil was never supposed to taste manufactured. It was supposed to taste alive. Number 8. Filippo Berio. This bottle has mastered the art of looking trustworthy. It's everywhere. Walmart, Target, Kroger, Costco, stacked so confidently on shelves that most shoppers stop questioning it altogether. When something becomes the default, people assume it earned that position through quality. Sometimes it just earned it through distribution. And that's where the cracks start showing. Independent testing over the years has raised concerns about whether certain samples consistently met true extra virgin standards, including signs of oxidation and lower-grade blending. That matters because extra virgin olive oil is supposed to be fresh, stable, and minimally processed, not tired oil hiding behind Italian branding. The bigger issue is scale. Massive global sourcing makes consistency easier, but freshness harder. Oils from multiple harvests and regions are blended together for shelf stability, not peak flavor or antioxidant quality. At around $10 to $15, Filippo Berio feels premium enough to justify the purchase. But the taste often says otherwise: flat, muted, and engineered. Number 7. Bertolli. Few olive oil brands sell the fantasy better than Bertolli. The label screams Italian countryside, rolling hills, old traditions, generations of craftsmanship. It looks like something your grandmother would proudly drizzle over fresh bread. But branding and quality are not the same thing. Behind the romantic packaging sits a massive industrial operation built for global scale. Large supply chains often mean oils sourced from multiple countries, blended across harvests, and stored for long periods before they ever hit your kitchen. And once olive oil loses freshness, it loses the very thing that makes extra virgin valuable: its flavor, aroma, and antioxidant punch. That's the issue with Bertolli. Despite the premium image, transparency is limited. Harvest dates are often missing, leaving consumers guessing how old the oil really is. Nothing about the bottle is necessarily fake. It's just engineered for shelf life over excellence. Number 6. Carapelli. This one sells a beautiful story. Since 1893, the brand has wrapped itself in Tuscan imagery, gold-trimmed labels, and old-world Italian charm designed to make every bottle feel handcrafted and sacred. But olive oil doesn't care about storytelling. Chemistry always gets the final vote. Over the years, investigations into the European olive oil industry uncovered large networks moving blended and mislabeled oils through international supply chains. Oils marketed as premium Italian extra virgin were sometimes sourced from multiple countries, then mixed, processed, and repackaged before export. Carapelli has operated within that same highly scrutinized system, where the biggest concern wasn't just origin, it was quality classification. Because once an oil fails extra virgin standards, it loses the freshness, aroma, and antioxidant profile that define real extra virgin olive oil in the first place. And that's the disconnect. The label whispers small Italian tradition, while the supply chain often tells a much larger industrial story. Elegant packaging can create trust. It can't create freshness. Number 5. Great value olive oil. Walmart moves more groceries than anyone in America, and its great value line is engineered to keep shelves full, prices low, and supply endlessly predictable. That's great for logistics, not so great for olive oil. Real extra virgin olive oil is incredibly delicate. The olives must be harvested at the right moment, pressed quickly, and protected from heat, oxygen, and light every step of the way. The longer the storage and shipping process, the more the oil loses the compounds that give it flavor, freshness, and antioxidant power. At bargain level pricing, corners usually get squeezed somewhere. Large blended batches, extended storage times, and bulk sourcing become part of the equation. So yes, the bottle still says extra virgin, but the experience often tastes flat, lifeless, and generic, more like a factory product than something freshly pressed from olives. Number 4. Kirkland Signature Olive Oil. Costco has trained shoppers to believe one thing: if it carries the Kirkland label, it must be a smart buy. Giant carts, giant bottles, giant savings. And for plenty of products, that reputation holds up. But olive oil is where bulk shopping starts getting complicated. Extra virgin olive oil is not built for warehouse logic. It's sensitive to time, heat, light, and storage conditions. The moment production scales into massive global volume, maintaining peak freshness becomes much harder. That's why independent testing over the years raised concerns about whether certain Kirkland extra virgin olive oil samples consistently met true extra virgin standards. And that distinction matters because extra virgin is supposed to guarantee freshness, purity, and minimal processing, not just decent marketing. To Costco's credit, sourcing improvements have reportedly been made. But transparency and third-party verification still remain inconsistent compared to smaller premium producers. And that's the real issue. When millions of bottles are involved, even small quality compromises stop being small. Big volume can quietly dilute big trust. Number 3. Newman's Own Olive Oil. The brand carries a rare kind of emotional trust in America, built on film legacy, philanthropy, and the belief that every purchase supports something meaningful. But olive oil does not operate on storytelling. It operates on chemistry, freshness, and time. In this category, Newman's Own relies on overseas sourcing like many global brands, which introduces variability depending on harvest, storage, and blending practices. What is often missing is consistent, publicly disclosed third-party verification of extra virgin quality at the level stricter certification bodies demand. And that gap matters because olive oil is one of the most frequently adulterated foods in global trade, according to industry audits. Without lab data like acidity levels, peroxide values, or sensory panel confirmation, consumers are left trusting branding instead of measurable quality. And with a charity-driven brand identity, that trust feels stronger than the evidence behind the bottle. Number 2. Aldi Specially Selected Olive Oil. At first glance, it looks like a quiet upgrade. Sleek bottle, clean typography, specially selected stamped across the label like a seal of approval. In a fast-expanding discount empire like Aldi, that branding is meant to signal, this is the premium tier. But premium inside a supermarket ecosystem is not the same as independently verified quality. Aldi's specially selected line is an internal label category, not a third-party certification that guarantees extra virgin purity under strict chemical and sensory standards. And in olive oil, those standards are everything. Because this is one of the most fraud-prone food categories globally, according to multiple industry audits. Large private label systems often rely on blended sourcing, cross-regional harvests, and long storage cycles to maintain price stability and year-round supply. That keeps shelves consistent, but consistency is not the same as freshness. So while the bottle looks refined and the branding feels elevated, what's missing is transparent external verification. Number 1. Whole Foods 365 Olive Oil. It looks like the safest choice on the shelf, wrapped in Whole Foods' reputation for clean eating and careful sourcing. But olive oil doesn't run on branding. It runs on time, temperature, and chemistry. Across category-wide testing, private label oils in this tier have shown batch-to-batch swings in freshness, oxidation, and sensory strength. That means one bottle can taste bright and peppery, while another feels muted and flat, depending on harvest and storage conditions. True extra virgin isn't flexible. It either passes strict chemical and sensory thresholds, or it doesn't, no matter the label. And that's where the gap appears. A store built on trust relies on large-scale sourcing. Consistency replaces verified excellence. Without third-party certification, consumers are left trusting perception more than proof. And that's the quiet risk behind this bottle. It feels premium, but consistency is what ultimately defines true quality in olive oil. Not branding, not packaging, not store reputation alone ever matters. Now let's flip the lens. Because not every bottle in the aisle is playing fast and loose with quality. There are brands that prioritize true freshness, controlled sourcing, and verified third-party testing. Number 1. Cassandrinos. This one belongs in a different league entirely. Small, family-run, and built on transparency rather than mass appeal. Cassandrinos sources its olive oil from a single-family farm in Greece, which immediately removes one of the biggest problems in the industry: blended, multi-country anonymity. No rotating harvest origins, no mystery mixing tanks, just traceable oil with a clear starting point. That kind of simplicity matters in a market where complexity often hides compromise. Even more importantly, the brand backs its oil with publicly available third-party lab testing. That means measurable data on acidity, purity, and quality markers, not just marketing claims on a label. It's also certified under strict dietary standards like Whole30 approved and aligned with paleo principles, both of which demand ingredient integrity and zero shortcuts. Number 2. California Olive Ranch. This is one of the rare cases where a big brand actually earns its reputation instead of just marketing it. California Olive Ranch has picked up serious recognition in independent tastings for one simple reason: consistency. No gimmicks, no vague heritage storytelling, just repeatable quality backed by traceability and batch-level testing. But the real differentiator is structural. The olives are grown and milled in California, which removes the chaotic multi-country blending pipeline that dominates much of the global olive oil industry. That matters more than it sounds, because a huge share of olive oil quality issues documented in industry reports come from imported oils being mixed, relabeled, and resold under extra virgin claims. Here, the process stays tight. Harvest timing, pressing speed, and storage conditions are controlled within the same system, which helps preserve freshness from tree to bottle instead of letting it degrade in transit. And the price stays reasonable, usually in the low to mid-teens for 750 milliliters, making it one of the few examples where scale doesn't kill quality. Number 3. Bragg Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil. It is one of those brands that already has a reputation for being obsessive about purity, long before olive oil ever entered its lineup. If you know them from apple cider vinegar, you already know the philosophy: keep it clean, keep it traceable, and don't cut corners for scale. That same mindset carries into their extra virgin olive oil. This bottle is USDA organic and non-GMO project verified, which isn't just a sticker game. It means the olives are grown without synthetic pesticides, herbicides, or genetically modified inputs, backed by documented farming practices and regular third-party audits. More importantly, the sourcing is transparent. Instead of hiding behind vague Mediterranean blends, the origin is clearly disclosed, and the oil is kept within a tighter organic supply chain rather than a mass multi-country blending system. Number 4. Cobra Estate. This is what happens when olive oil is treated like a precision product instead of a lifestyle accessory. Cobra Estate has quietly built a strong reputation in independent blind tastings, including recognition from outlets like Wirecutter, where oils are judged on performance alone. No branding, no label influence, just what's actually in the glass. And that's where it stands out. The entire production system is built for speed. Olives are harvested and cold pressed within hours, not days, which helps lock in polyphenols and prevents the early oxidation that quietly destroys freshness in slower supply chains. In olive oil, timing isn't a detail, it's everything. Most olive oils don't fail because of danger. They fail because of distance from freshness and truth. Now you know what's real and what's just branding in disguise. If this changed how you shop, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more food revelations.